Welcome back to Cool World Part 2. Okay, now I know Holly told us we should meet her at her special place to get more physical, but she tells us that girls like to receive gifts and she's not going to have sex with us until then. Women. So, until we get some gift for her, we can't see her. Yeah, remember, you can't get in the car unless you got the car keys back at the pawn shop. That was in Part 1, you should have known about that. And now we come to the worst part of the whole fucking game. This is the driving sequence. And the driving sequence, if you fall, you die. And yeah, it means you got a lot of jumping over pathways and all this crap. If you run into boxes and stuff, it'll destroy your car. The more your car gets damaged, the more you'll die. And, well, eventually you'll die. But I'll get back to that later, because now we're in Candyland. No, not the board game of lame... Okay, it's not lame. I love Candyland. What am I talking about? Now this is Candyland, and as you can see, there's a lot of candy. Now we're picking up candy because it's the only way we're going to be getting into the malt shop. And the malt shop has the gift that Holly wants, so it's best we get that. Please, this game's moving too fast for my commentary. We only need like 10 to 12, maybe 13 candy pieces. And then we'll be able to enter the malt shop, and we just enter from the big gaping ton mouth. Kinda gross. I don't know how you get in there, but I'm sure it'd be sticky and... Well, I don't even want to go there. Anyway, there's the malt shop. The present's gonna be in the top right corner. So, it's gonna require a lot of climbing and a lot of manipulating. Now here's a trick that's a little lame. The AI follows you if it's close enough to you. So if you want the bad guys to run off the edges of the cliffs, just jump up close to them as they're about to walk to the edge, and they'll run right off. It only works for the big tough guys that you can't punch for some reason. And yeah, you can't punch them, so it's kind of a pain in the ass. So there's our present. We have to give this to Holly, and then we're gonna get laid. You excited for that? Because I am. Very much so. I need a girlfriend. Okay, so we got the present, now we head back right, and we're gonna end up at Holly's palace, or mansion, or apartment, or whatever. I'm just picking up candy for the hell of it, you don't need to. And now we get back to the lame driving sequence. And this is the most annoying part of the game. I've already said that before, but I'm gonna say it again because I can't stress it enough. If you jump and you miss, you fall in the pit and you die. If you run into too many items, barrels, pine cones, the teeth at the drawbridge, if you run into any of these things, you're just gonna get swamped and killed instantly. And sometimes there's all these ramps and jumps and arrows that bounce you forward, and you don't even land where you should. You land past where you should. As you can tell, I get a lot of game overs here, so, fun. And I'm sure you will too. When you first play this, it's gonna be the most painful experience you'll ever know in your whole life. Oh yeah, and that's another thing. Stop signs. When you get up to them, they make you slow down even when you don't want to. So what happened there was, I bounced off the ramp, and because I was approaching a stop sign on this small, lone platform, I ended up fucking myself over. Who hits the brakes in midair and manages to stop? Ay, ay, ay. After finally dying like 4 times, I finally made it through. This is Holly's palace. Don't stand in front of that door too long, because eventually he'll shoot a fireball, and it will kill you in one hit. You don't want that. So be quick about it and climb the building. There's going to be wrenches and screwdrivers and doors opening. There's going to be so much effort to knock you off. It's going to be a biggest pain in your ass. But we must persevere. We must go on forward. We must get sex. Go, Jack! Get laid! You can punch these small guys, or you can land on them. Well, they're pretty small, but you can punch them. There you go. Don't worry about the spider, he's just there. I don't know why. I guess they figured they needed someone there. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here comes the moment we've all been waiting for. Before the God of War 6 minigame. Before the Grand Theft Auto Hot Coffee mod. There was Cool World. Let's do it! Now we are together. I can give you this. Wow. Holly has become real and gone over to your world where she might damage the whole interworld matrix or something. Okay. Well, that was very unsatisfying. And yes, they did have sex. In the movie, they literally had sex. And because of it, Holly became a human, a real-life human, and somehow that granted her the ability to go into the real world. It's pretty fucked up. Anyway, what we want to do now is get the pen in the pawn shop. Now she's going to ask you, do you want to sell your sweets for nickels? No. No, no, no. Absolutely not. Say no always. You can't buy the pen with nickels because you already have a present, so you want to trade the present for the pen. Why do you still have the present? I guess Holly didn't want it. It was just a thought that counts after all. Now, you need those sweets later on, so again, I cannot stress enough, do not trade sweets for nickels. We don't even need nickels anymore. We've only needed it for the bouncer, or not the bouncer, but the club and the soda. That was about it. Now, right now, we need to get back to Candyland because the spike that we need to save the world is in Candyland. Now that we have the pen, we actually have a limited time on Cool World, because as soon as you pick up the pen, whether it be in the beginning of the game or the end of the game, if you pick up that pen, then the whole real world cycle will begin. And basically what that means is, after a while in Cool World, you're going to end up in the real world, and you'll be sent to Las Vegas. And when you're sent to Las Vegas, you have to, like, take out doodles and all this stuff. Now, I saved getting the pen for last because, well, I want to beat this game as quick as possible. And I'm gonna warn you now, this game is short. This game is really short. If this game makes it past part 4, I'll be surprised. Or no, if it makes it past part 3, I'll be surprised, because we're really close to beating this game. Anyway, the spike is in the malt shop, and you know where the present in the top right corner? Well, we need the spike, and the spike is in the top left corner. Now, as for plot, I'm going to explain this because some people are probably wondering, what the hell is going on? Jack Deeves is a cartoonist. He created Cool World because he kept visiting Cool World, and he just sort of like ripped off the idea of his dreams. Because Cool World was real before he even created it. And, again, jump for the bad guys, because if you jump, they'll fall off a cliff, and it makes getting the spike so much easier. But anyway, so Holly is a doodle who wanted to be real. She wanted to visit the real world because she's heard so much about it from, like, somewhere, from TV, and from Brad Pitt's character, who ended up in Cool World because something. And don't worry, we still have the pen, even though we just traded it for a spike. I don't know why, but we still have the pen. Anywho, so Holly lures Jack Deeves, seduces him, has sex with him, and she becomes a human for having sex with him, right? And so this allows her to go to the real world. Now, in the movie, Jack and her went back to the real world together, and there was a lot of wacky, zany antics that followed. But in the game, well, obviously, you gotta control Jack at all times, so she goes on without you to conquer the world. Of course! And in case you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm waiting around. Oh, here it goes. You must return to your world to capture all the rogue doodles that have passed over. Because I was just waiting around for the time to eventually kick me back to the real world, so you have to get that spike really quick as soon as you buy the pen. Or you can get the spike first and get the pen later, but, you know, this is quicker. Anyway, this is it for part 2. I'll see you in part 3.